And if we spend an hour clearing P1, then that's 50% of our time just lost, gone, vanished off the face of the planet. It'd be different when they unlock the tier, because then we can just do whichever one tickles our fancy.
When is the unlock?
Normally in the 0.18 patch, and we haven't even had the 0.15 patch, so a long time away. So yeah, you know, it's just a matter of, plus the gear that we get from here. You get 3 accessories every time from this particular fight, so it doesn't take long before everybody's got everything that they need. Is there anybody that is waiting for anything in particular? Illyrian needs a ring and an earring.
I just need a book.
You just need 1 book. Dominic, have you been getting any gear? Are you missing anything, mate? Just a ring? You can buy that today, can't you? Yeah, you can buy that. Ilduin, what about you, mate?
I have everything.
You've got everything? Lovely. Karuto? Just a ring? Yep, so you can buy that today. So basically, what we're really hoping for is some earrings and a ring for Illyrian. So if we see an earrings and a ring drop, they go to Illyrian. Everybody else buys their shit, and then that's us done with this particular fight forever. I know Anine's got everything that she needs, and I know Sophie's got everything that she needs. And if I didn't have everything that I need, I think we'd all be rather concerned.
Is that even possible to roll on 2 things in one kill?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You can get everything. It's especially fun if you party finder and someone gets all the drops, and it's always the people who play the worst every time.
Yeah, it's always the floor tank. Okay, so let's just cut some food up. Let's get straight into it and refresh our memories on what we're doing.
We move the debuffs all the way to the center, so hope that helps.
It's a good tip. Move the debuffs as close to your character's feet as you possibly can without obscuring any other view, so that you're not screwing up your hitbox and such. It just kind of like means that you don't have to look in too many places.
I made the mistake of doing that mid-fight last week, and it messed with my memory.
Go on then, let's pull Dominic. Remember to try and pull it to the center of the arena rather than over in Narnia. So this is the tank tickle. I'm in, Illyrian, you are out, you're swapping with your partner. It's Wyakin, I think. Is it? No, it isn't, it's Anine.
No, it's me.
First set of flails, right and left. Straight through. Grace or Purgation. You're gonna invuln, no tank swap. Make sure everybody's max melee, otherwise you'll take unnecessary damage. Out and in. Straight in. Raid damage into Intemperance. Easy pattern. DPS south. Healers mid. Raid damage. Everybody back to your original positions. Oh, we may wipe.
Sorry, I was too fast going back to my original position.
Ah, did you move back for the AoE rather than the...
Yep. I thought AoE is gone, so I can move back, and it was too fast.
Let's see. Everybody to your normal positions. First flails. Right and left. It's tank swap and stack, Grace. Out and in. In. Raid damage into Intemperance. Bottom first, hand down. DPS mid. Raid damage. Final positions. Well done, everyone. Purgation, knockback, and invulnerability. Big raid damage, shield and heal according. Fire left out. On me, on me, on me. Okay. Grace or Purgation. This is tank swap and stack. You might as well keep it Illurium. Light, in, and left.
I have no clue where Div is on the 2-minute window anymore. I think I was really late on it.
I've got the thing. Everybody on red. I'm on blue. Don't worry about it, either of us. It's just if we were here for like passes and stuff, I'd probably give a shit. But we're not.
Yeah. I mean,
Fourfold shackles. Pop sprint during the cast. Now pop sprint. One. Always hits 4 times. 2. That's 3. And 4, you're safe to move. Raid damage next into second Intemperance. Remember, this is the Intemperance with the in and out at the same time. Just focus on what you're doing. It always does tile, tile, flail, tile. And it's the easy pattern as well. Easy pattern. DPS south. Out and in. So it's going to do tile, out, in, tile. In. Positions. Final positions. Well done. Only I got hit like a dumbass.
thankfully it means actually washing people's health.
Can we use that LB, please, Ilduin?
Sure.
Big raid damage. Okay, so it's going to do Shackles of Time, which is the debuff on one person. So Aileros on blue, everybody else on red, and it's Purgation with Invulnerability. Okay, we're dead.
At the risk of pointing out the obvious, my bad.
Right, don't worry about it. Not a bad first run though. So Soph swaps with Dominic. Everybody else normal positions. Left and right. Breakthrough. Grace or Purgation. Purgation. So it's not back into invulnerability. Everybody max melee so he can dodge, jump straight back in. Second set of flails. Out and in. Straight in. Raid damage into Intemperance. Easy pattern. DPS south. Healers mid. Raid damage. Raid damage.
Fucked up.
Yeah, no surviving that.
I went back too early.
What happened?
No, I went back too early.
Oh, right, okay. Dominic swap with Wyakin with Soph. Everybody else normal positions. Flails in and out. Grace or Purgation. Grace, tank swap and stack. Right then left. Use the boss's hitbox as your marker. Breakthrough. Spin the boss. Intemperance. Easy pattern. Raid damage, DPS south. Raid damage, final positions. I didn't call the top or bottom, but you know, it's the easy pattern. Purgation, not back and invuln. So the next one is a tank swap, and it's a tank swap regardless, Illyrian, okay? Shining Cells, big raid damage. Fire in left. Race or Purgation. Remember, it is guaranteed to be a tank swap. It's Purgation, so use your invulnerability, tank swap and invulnerability Illyrian away from the group. Perfect. Right, fire, out. Shackles of Time, debuff on somebody. Everybody on red, Karuto on blue. Tank Buster Illyrian. Big raid damage. Fourfold shackles. Hop sprint.
Yeah, I should have just stood still there, but there was somebody else dancing around me, and I was like, "Am I in the wrong place?"
The trick is, if I'm honest, mate, to just ignore what everybody else is doing and stand your ground. So if you see what number you've got, just be confident in that knowledge, and then if somebody else is screwing up, then that's on them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I should have just stood still. I saw an empty spot and was like, "Well, if you're supposed to be here, I guess I'll go there." Not exactly a good idea.
Go again. Karuto, I will swap you. In and out. Swap and stack. left and right. You're going to have to use the boss's hitbox as a guide. Temperance, easy pattern. DPS south. Healers mid. Raid damage. Final tile positions. Grace or Purgation, Knockback, and Invulnerability. The next one is guaranteed to be a tank swap, regardless. Big raid damage. Light in right. Always swings twice. Grace or Purgation. Remember, it's guaranteed to be a tank swap. Purgation, so knockback and use invulnerability. Dominic, you're going to take a lot of damage, so use a cooldown. Light, out, and left. Ilduin on blue, everybody else on red. Illurian, you're going to take a tank buster. Slam shut, big raid damage. You might as well keep it as well, Illurian, because you are taking the next tank buster. Oh no, you're not, you're going to do a tank swap. Doesn't matter, just keep it. Fourfold shackles. Hop sprint and check your debuffs. One. Two. 3. 4. Happy days, safe. Raid damage into Intemperance. Just do whatever you normally do for Intemperance. Hand up. Soph's doing the running. DPS mid. It's an in and out, so it's going to do a second tiles, in and out, and then final tile positions. Final tile positions, out, out, out. We survived. Let's just get the dead up. Okay, no, we didn't.
Do you want to go till LB?
My bad. I shouldn't have rested. I should have just killed.
I can get LB.
Oh, I walked into a wall.
Yeah.
Well, goodbye again, then, yeah.
Yeah.
Single 10 troops.
Stand on light. I can't see what the things are. Oh, we're supposed to be doing the shackles.
Yeah.
It's difficult to call it when you're dead. I just didn't know where. I
it's
didn't know
hard to
where
say.
we were in the fight.
So if I keep that during the second cube thing, then I guess I should know the main tank running as well. And I simply resolve mine, which is apparently not a good idea. Because I met somebody on my square at the end.
Just stick to doing whatever you were doing before at the south, and let Dominic do the stuff at the north. It doesn't matter that you've got aggro because the boss doesn't move. The boss is too busy casting shit to spin round, so it doesn't matter that you have aggro.
Yeah, well, I didn't see Dominic at the north, so I just stood there, and then I was like, where shall I go?
All right. Well, yeah, just go south and just do what you would normally do down south.
Okay.
When is that gonna crit? Honestly, game. Why do I bother getting best in slot?
I have to swap Lurin.
Illurian, you also, yeah, that's fine. It's an easy swap that one. First flails, right and left. Purgation, knockback, invulnerability. In and out. Max melee. Raid damage into Intemperance. Hand down. Dominic's running. DPS mid, healers south. Raid damage, final tile positions. It'll be Grace, swap and stack. Big raid damage, again you might as well keep it Illurium. But do spin the boss round if you wouldn't mind. Light, left, out. Always swings twice. Grace or Purgation. It's Grace, we're going to swap and stack. It always does the knockback, mate. As soon as you light in and right, as soon as you get up Illurion, you might as well take hate, take enmity, because you're going to be taking the next Purgation. Shackles of Time. Dominic on blue. Party red. Tank Buster Illurion. Big raid damage using Feint into fourfold shackles. Hop sprint during the cast. Now. I am 3. Dominic, move.
Refresh food.
Yes.
Thanks for the reminder.
My bad, I'm nearly full.
Holy shit, it crit.
Happy days.
It's the first time I've seen it crit in weeks. Like literally
Oh, that's
weeks.
some bad luck.
Ilduin out, Swayakin in, Dominic out, Aileros in, everybody else normal. Flails left and right. Make sure you're using the boss's hitbox. Grace or Purgation. It's Purgation. Everybody max melee, not back into invulnerability. Out and in. In. Raid damage into Intemperance. Hand up. Dominic running. No, sorry, Wyakin running. My bad. DPS mid. Dealers south. Raid damage into final tile positions. Race or purgation. The first one was purgation, so this is a swap and stack. Swap and stack. Whoa, what happened to the...
No swap.
Okay. No matter. Ah, okay. Fire right out. Always swings twice. Grace or purgation. The last one was grace, so this one's definitely purgation. And I believe Allurian, you need to take this swap and invulnerability. Swap and invulnerability. Everybody max melee. Uh-oh. Yeah, you need to get knocked back diagonally. Otherwise you just get deleted.
Yeah, even with the invul map, apparently.
Yes. And even if it's in that moment, Dominic, you need to be like far away from him, because you get like a magic vulnerability thing from the knockback. I am in, Dominic out, Sophie in. In and out. Out. Knock back, invulnerability, max melee everyone. Left and right. Use the boss's hitbox. Straight through. Raid damage. Intemperance. Hand down. Dominic running. First positions. Second positions. Raid damage. DPS mid.
Alvarez comes up.
Final positions. Swap and stack. Big raid damage. The next one is guaranteed to be purgation. Light, right, out. Always swings twice. So it's going to be purgation, Illyrian. You're going to get knocked back to the corner and use your invulnerability. Everybody else max melee. Happy days. Light, in, right. Don't know what happened to you guys there.
Not right enough. I
Dominic
guess.
blue. Everybody else red. Tank Buster on Illyrian. After this we'll swap back. Dominic go back to main tank. Raid damage, big raid damage. Shield and heal accordingly. Fourfold shackles. We're gonna pop sprint during the cast. Pop sprint. Check your debuffs. And it's always hitting 4 times. 1, 2, a 3. And a 4. Raid damage into Intemperance 2. It's exactly the same as Intemperance 1, which we've done and succeeded lots of times. And it's the easy pattern, yay! Position number 1, DPS are going south, healers are going mid. DPS south, healers mid. And it's an in then out, so it's going to do tile, in, and then final positions, Happy days. Big raid damage into other shit. I think it's the Shackles of Time. Yes, it is. Swap and stack, everybody red. Anina, you stay blue. Swap and stack. Raid damage into Ethereal Shackles, which is exactly the same as the opener. Except you do need to do a little dance between the reds and blues. So look for your position as if it's the opener. Aileros in, Ilduin out. So Ilduin and Aileros swap and stand on fire on the marker, on your marker. Stand on fire on your marker. Happy days. Raid damage. Use the LB, please. Lovely. That's a win. That is a win if ever I've seen one. So what did we get? A ring and sadly... Oh, and an earring. That's exactly what we wanted, wasn't it? Is that right? A ring and an earring for Illyrian?
I believe that's what we wanted.
Can I be like greedy and take both?
Yeah, well, that's the plan. You need to take both, which means the bracelet is a greed roll for anybody that wants it. So I'm passing all three.
I'm gonna go get my things ready.
Can I go shortly to the toilet?
Absolutely. Right, Grats. Everybody's got everything that they could ever need from the first fight, so we don't ever need to do that fight ever again. Everybody should be basically best in slot right hand side. All 600s, everybody. I think Dominic's short on a few pieces just due to tombstones. Is that right, mate? Have you been capping your tombstones? It's not a problem. Right, find me timeline for 2. So we've got an hour in 2.
What are we doing in Rats Atan?
Buying gear.
Good.
I have 12 P1S books, just sat doing nothing.
I only have 7.
Okie dokie. Everybody ready?
Yep.
So we've got an hour now to see if we can master the Campios, whatever the hell it's called. Campios Harmer.
Try and get
Campios Harmer.
a clean run past Tether Mechanic.
Yeah, well, if we can do Campios Harmer, then the rest of it is just a combination of the shit that you've already seen. So it's relatively straightforward.
I'm in the not on the crate, but the other healer group in the middle, right?
Yes. So Murky Depths is just a mild raid damage, nothing too painful or spectacular. That's your tank share. We're going to share every single one of them. Make sure you're using cooldowns respectively, because it can hurt. And then we are doing Sewage Deluge, which can hurt quite significantly. We're going to go to C. C is the safe spot. Stay where we are, because we are safe. Next is Coherence. So Dominic forward, grab the tether and run round. Illyrian in front, both of you use cooldowns as needed. Next is Murky Depths into Ominous Bubbling. Murky Depths being the mild raid damage. And then Ominous Bubbling, where he does Shockwave, chooses a corner to jump. So we're going to head towards B, use your knockback prevention now, and go to your respective groups. Lovely. Next is Predatory Avarice, where he chooses 1 tank, 1 DPS. We go back to C. It's on Soph and Dominic, so everybody else is going to stand still. We're going to go round to D, and then when the ability goes off, Soph right, Dominic left. Happy days. You don't need to use a cooldown for that, Dom. It doesn't do any damage. Channeling Flow, we're going to create a plus pattern. And you're going to look across the room. If you're a tank, try and, you know, create... sorry, if you're a range, create space for your partner, is what I meant to say. Tank share, party to 3. Murky Depths into Sewage Deluge. Don't worry about the boss's position because he does move himself. Sewage deluge, big raid damage. Save your 2-minute cooldowns here because we tend to use them after this mechanic. So we're going to move over to A. And we're going to look where he jumps. Then you're going to check to see if you have a tether or not. Use your knockback prevention. Check your tethers, check your numbers. Check your tethers, check your numbers. I am missing my 3. One death, 2 deaths. It's not the end of the world.
Sorry, Sev, I didn't realise he jumped on me. He came at a weird
Thanks,
angle.
share. Murky depths. And next is channeling flow, which is the arrows, and debuffs. So you're going to get either a long debuff with like 20 odd seconds or a short debuff, which is about 12. If you're a 12, you resolve the arrows. If you're a long, you're going to stand on the markers A, B, C, D, and just do the what they call the AoEs. And then you swap those that were short, move onto the markers, those that were long. Resolve. Move to the back of the head for spoken. I know everybody's dead.
It's okay, you got this. 48%, you can do it, I believe.
2 things there. I got a 12, and I thought I was supposed to stand in the corner. And I know you said don't be distracted by other people, just stand where you think you're supposed to stand. But
Yes.
I chickened out again, so that was my fault. There was somebody standing right there at a 12, and I figured I needed to be in the corner there.
No,
but
12's resolve on the side here.
Yeah,
The 20,
there was somebody there, and I got distracted. Like, okay, perhaps I'm in the wrong place.
Yeah, just ignore them. Honestly, it's. I know it's difficult. It's something you sort of have to get used to when doing Savage, especially if you decide to go in the Party Finder. So 12s go to the sides, and 20s go to the corner.
All right. The other thing, the 1, 2, 3, 4 mechanic that kind of eluded me. I was a 3. I was the problem there.
So there are two. There's 2 different types: purples and blues, tethers or no tethers, triangles and squares. However you look at it is your choice. Now, I prefer to go tethers and no tethers because it's the easiest way to determine what I've got. And then when I've determined if I'm a tether or no tether, I figure out my number and go to my respective spot. Now, if you're a no tether, it's dead easy. You just go to the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. Happy days. If you do have a tether, that's where it gets a little bit complicated. So I'll use my lovely assistant Anine, and we will assume the boss is on A, and Anine is 1, and I am 3. So the 1 and 3 runs away from the boss. The boss will jump, slam, and hit Anine, in which then we swap, and I go to the front. And these are the positions.
Yeah, I got that. I thought it was the 3 you were missing, but I was simply in the wrong corner, I guess, because I was there by myself.
Yes, so you run to the opposite corner of the boss. 2 and 4 under, 1 and 3 away. So if the boss is on A, you go to C. If the boss is on D, you go to B, etc., etc.
All right, so it's supposed to be on the opposite
Yeah.
side of the map. All right, that was the problem then. Thanks.
The reason you go the opposite corner is because the jump is proximity based, and so if you're too close, it will just delete you. And then because you're too close, it will delete the next person because they are now too close to you also.
Which is why I even have to go far, because the first person to get jumped on is 1, so they need to be far, otherwise they're dead.
Exactly.
That makes sense. Sorry, memory jogging a bit here. Haven't done this a lot.
Yeah, you've done about 20 minutes of this. This is why I'm saying next week we'll just skip one so we can have a solid 2 hours. This will be the first time that we've had more than 20 minutes to actually do a bit of practice. First pull, let's see it again, because again, all the mechanics going forward are just combinations of shit you've already done. And share. Sewage deluge. Safe spot is C. Next is wings or spoken. Be prepared to move. Move. B. Coherence. We're going to stay here. Dominic in front. Grab the tether. Run round. Elurian in front. Both of you use cooldowns accordingly. We're going to move back to C. This is the halfway point between where the shockwave could be. So next he's going to use shockwave, and we're going to use knockback prevention at 50% cast. Now use your knockback prevention and get into your groups. Next is Predatory Avarice. We're going to again go back to C because that is the halfway point between where we could need to be. Check to see who has... It's on Elurian and Soap. So Elurian's going to run left, Soap is going to run right. Back ahead, so we're going to D. And again, after the spoken, Elurian left. Wyken right. Happy days. You don't take damage, Elurian, so don't worry about it, mate. Channeling flow, if you are a ranged DPS, try to go to the edge of the arena. If you are a melee, look across to see who your partner is. Because if you have another melee in front of you, that is not a good thing. Party to 3, tanks do your tank share. Raid damage into big raid damage. After this big raid damage, we're doing Campios Harma, which is the numbers. So here's the big raid damage. Over to B. Shockwave on A, use your knockback prevention now. And then we're going to check to see if you have a tether or not. Pop sprint. Bollocks, I pressed the wrong button.
Yeah, it was my fault. I was too slow at getting to position.
Can we raise the healers? Oh, bollocks. I'm so dead. Raid damage into channeling flow. We've got about 10 seconds. No, everyone's dead. Never mind. Just run into a wall.
Just to check there, I was on a corner with Anine. I think out of 4.
Yes, you were right. What basically happened there was that Ilorus, as I said, moved too slow, so between me and him was too short space, so I died. Though I do think that you should be a bit further back, because it looked like it would like have hit the both of us when it hit me. So just to be safe, it's fine to stay a bit more into the corner back there. But what happened?
I thought I was already standing on the very point of the thing, but my bad.
No, it's fine. It's a bit hard to see. You have to get used to the
Alright.
hitbox and stuff like that. You can stand more in the corner than it looks like. Obviously
Alright.
too much though. But yeah, I don't, that what happened there wasn't you doing something bad. You did it correctly.
Happy days. Let's go again.
Whoops.
Whoops? What does whoops mean?
I heard a
Put
whoops,
down the
but I
heal
did
too early. It's going to go off before we take damage.
no.
That definitely sounds like a you problem.
We might clip it.
We think damage super
No, it went
early.
off just too early. It only healed half of us.
Folks just ran upstairs. I think there's something wrong with my boy. He made, well, she's definitely going to die. She's AFK. Wings are spoken. A.
Even though I know she's AFK, I have this urge to heal her.
Healer tendencies.
And brace her. It looks wrong that she's there.
Both of you use cooldowns. That was spicy. Murky depths into ominous bubbling. It's going to choose a platform. The one we're on. Use your knockback prevention. Predatory Avarice next. It's probably in our interest to move to B. Now you can raise. It's on me and it's on Dominic. Stay where we are, and after the mechanic, I go right, Dominic goes left. Remember, we don't take damage, so focus on the group. Next is channeling float. Again, if you are ranged, move away from the group. If you're a melee, look to see who's in front of you, because you don't want to be... Oh god, that boss movement was horrid. That boss movement was just like destroying my very existence.
I saw you agree that more and more and be like,
Party to 3. Tanks do tank things. Raid damage. Next is sewage deluge, and then we're doing numbers. So we're going to move across to A, because this is the halfway point. Save you 2 minutes, and he's going to jump to D, so use your knockback prevention, and then check to see if you have a tether, and then check your numbers. Pop sprint now. What happened there, I believe. Just use your invulnerability, Dominic. Everybody stack up. I'll talk about it afterwards. Right, so channeling flow with AoEs. So if you have a long number, go into the corner. If you have a short number, 12s, just resolve the mechanic.
oh goodness me.
It's a lot of people sharing a corner.
Yes.
Yeah, that was me trying to sprint to the right spot because I went to where it was the water and I was like, oh, right, water.
So in the numbers, I saw a rogue samurai darting across to his 2 marker, and I think as he got hit by his number 2, he then hit the 1 and 3 for the tethers. So then they just had a magic vulnerability down, so they just died from, because you can't get hit by 2 things because you get a vulnerability. So 1 and 3 ended up 1 and 3 tethers died because of that, which then just has this cascading effect. What it looked like.
Yeah, could have probably been right. I was very late because the way was blocked with water.
Yes, that's why I use sprint at that point. And
I used sprint.
okay,
I was
yeah,
just slow to look where I had to go.
it is a long run. All right, let's go again. Let's go
I think
again.
it would have been easier if we were
2 minutes on food.
opposite
Hang on,
of
don't
the.
pull, don't pull.
I think it would have been easier if we were opposite of the blocked corner, but we were right next to it, which made it difficult to resolve the arrows. That's why a lot of people died at the same corner because almost all of us had to move.
Yeah, that is true. We should have adjusted earlier. We should have gone to the one in the middle. It's a good thing to just do to meet up there for heals and to prepare for the mechanic, to be honest.
Okay, you can pull. Yeah, I don't really have any advice for the numbers and getting to your spot in time. It's just a matter of timing your sprint so that you can spot your numbers and such. Next is winged or spoken. Be prepared to move to C. Coherence. Dominic forward. Grab your tether and run right. Illyrian forward. And use your cooldowns. Next is Murky Depths. Let's move back to B. Shockwave is next. He's going to choose a platform. He has chosen A. Use your knockback prevention. And go to your groups. This is your 2-minute window. Next is Predatory Avarice. So go to B. So Dominic and Ilduin. So Ilduin's going to run right. Dominic's going to run left. We're going to check the wing or spoken and determine. We're going to move to C. After the winged or the spoken, we're going to Ilduin right, Dominic left, go, go, go. Remember, they don't take damage. We do. Next is Channeling Flow. Again, if you're ranged, run to Narnia. If you're a melee, check to see who you've got facing you, whether you can greed or not. Try not to move the boss, just leave it in the middle. And yeah. Party to 3, Tank Buster. Murky Depths, Sewage Deluge. And then we're doing numbers. Go to D. Check where the shockwave is. Use knockback at 50% cast. He's jumping to C. Use your knockback prevention. Check to see if you have a tether and pop sprint. Guys, you're all amazing. We're going to stack up. Go to D. Raise the dead as quickly as you can. So we're going to do channeling flow with AoEs. I don't know. And again, if you have long debuff, go into the corners. Not there, Illaros, you're going to die. You have to go onto the ABCD, mate.
Yeah, I think I was in a bad spot.
Other safe spots, because you can't go onto the B marker right now, as you can go right next to the B marker, because nobody's going to be shot down there.
That would have been a bad spot though, because I was on the opposite side of the map for.
Yeah, you've got loads of time.
Okay.
Like, loads of time. I even think sprint's back up by that time as well.
If that's the case, it's not an issue.
Okay, so now we've got Predatory Avarice with Disassociation. Just use that heal LB3 if you need to get people up. Predatory Avarice, so he's going to choose Illyrian and Karuto. And then he's going to do Disassociation, so literally his head is going to go somewhere on the map. So let's look around for his head. His head is on A, so you're going to go to B. Everybody to B. Next, you're going to go to C, because he's doing his Winged or Spoken. After the Winged or Spoken, you're going to do...
Oh, that was a shock.
Yeah. There's the Predatory Avarice goes off at the same time as the Winged or Spoken. So the tank that has the debuff moves to like the edge of the arena, but in the middle. And the DPS who has the debuff moves literally to the very corner of the arena, whereas the party goes to the normal spot. I'll demonstrate what I mean by that. So imagine we're going to D. I want the tank to stand here. Literally here. It's always a tank. It's never a healer. Now, it could be, just to make you aware, here also. Alright? It depends on whether we're doing, winged or spoken, so if you're coming from C to D, you're going to run down to here, aren't you? It's just about being aware on where the safe spot is. The DPS is going to go all the way to the corner. And the party is going to go to their usual spot on the grate. The reason for that is because you've only got like a quarter of the room, because like half the room gets the head, do a charge, quite literally from like B to C. The other half the room from A to B is being washed away by the spoken or winged, which only leaves a quarter of the room, this D section, as the safe spot. And so we need to manipulate the three mechanics, because it is three mechanics that are simultaneously happening. Disassociation, spoken or wings, and the predatory avarice is all happening at the same time. Do you follow? Let's go again. Because after this, it's basically disassociation and sewage eruptions, followed by channeling overflow and coherence. And that's it. That's the last two mechanics. Raid damage. Over to B. Winged or spoken, be prepared to move. We can stay where we are. Happy days. Coherence, Dominic forward. Illyrian forward. Both of you use cooldowns. Next is Murky Depths into Ominous Bubbling. He's going to use Shockwave. And you're going to use your knockback prevention now. This is your 2-minute window. Next is predatory avarice, so we are going to move back to B because it's the halfway point. It's on Dominic and Soph. So Dominic's left, Soph is right. We're going to move to A. After the winged or spoken, Dominic left. Remember, they don't take damage, only we do. Next, channeling flow. Ranged, run to Narnia, melee. Do the thing. Party to 3. Tanks. Tank share. Cooldown. Shields and heals. Murky depths. Into sewage deluge. So raid damage into big raid damage. Save you 2 minutes. Move to A. It's the halfway point because he's going to do Shockwave next. Shockwave is on D. Use your knockback prevention. Check to see if he has got tethers or not tethers. Pop sprint. Okay, 1 death. Everybody stack up. Double impact. Dominic, you're just going to have to use your invulnerability, mate. Raid damage. Next is channeling flow, channeling overflow, and AoEs. So long debuffs, your 20s, go on the ABCDs. Your short debuffs, resolve. Now swap. You short guys go on the ABCDs. Long guys, just ignore what I'm doing, Karuto, and go on to the A marker. But that's why you go on the A marker. Go to the back of the head. I don't know where that is because I'm raising. Let's see, where are we? Predatory avarice, disassociation. Okay, so we're going to look for where the head goes. So it's on Dominic and Ilduin. Remember, tank, you're going to the side. DPS, you go to the very, very corner. The head is on the B marker, so we are safe where we are for now. We are also safe. Go, 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 tank and DPS. Side and corner, side and corner. I'm going to go out on a limb and assume you saw what you did wrong there. Next is disassociation plus sewage eruptions. We're going to look for where the head goes, and we're going to go stand next to it. So the head is on B, and we are going to run towards A in a nice big circle. and you're going to run, not sprint, and not stop. And then after this, simply spread. And then, Dominic, you grab this tether, which you're dead, but I'm going to pretend you're alive. And you take this away from the party. I would normally just call out a rule and just say party to C, tank to A. Tank share. Goodbye, Aileros. So let's have the party on 3. Sewage deluge. Now we've got channeling, overflow, and coherence. This is going to be interesting. Right, safe spot is C. So we're going to have long debuffs and short debuffs, okay? So, short debuffs you're going to resolve as usual. Long debuffs, you're going to stay here. I can't even explain this whilst this is happening. It's just never going to happen. Right, there's a lot of things going off at the same time, as per usual. It's always like 2 or 3 mechanics that all happen simultaneously. So we for that one, coherence is the final mechanic, and it's generally the mechanic in which we'll wipe a raid. If it isn't the Campios Harmer, that is the mechanic that will wipe and create a party to disband in the party finder. So what happens is you still get your 12-second and your 20-odd second. I think.
I know you're into a big explanation, so just something small. I was with the 1 and 3 in the corner. Somebody else was with me.
Yes,
I
that was me.
I know I'm a tank, but I'm not really supposed to take both of those hit hits.
No,
I think.
neither of us swapped basically. So
All right.
you got hit last. And that's fine. It's my bad too. I didn't see you got hit the first time, basically, because your health didn't massively go down because you're a tank. So I was like, wait, but it should have been here. And that was my bad. But yeah.
Oh, no worries. Just a small thing.
Yeah.
Carry on, Anya.
Okay, so yeah, it still gives you the long debuff and the short debuff. I think it's 12 seconds and like 27, 30 seconds, whichever one it is. I don't remember. That still needs to happen as per normal. So the 12-second guys, you can just go and resolve your mechanic. Go to where you're supposed to be. The 27-second guys, you need to take a step back here. And this is where it gets complicated, because the 2 tanks, you are going to have to be a little bit fluid. One of you is going to get the 12-second debuff, and one of you is going to get the 27-second debuff. Whichever one of you gets the 27-second one needs to grab the tether and run around the arena. So you're going to have 3 people stood here, and you're going to grab the tether and run around to A. Then when the tether is gained and all 3 people are, safe, all 3 of you move to the inside like so. The 12 seconds will explode. You then need to take a step back. The other tank needs to go then in front of us. The 12-second guys collapse in behind us, and the laser goes off, just like a normal coherence. So basically, after the 12-second guys, after the 12 seconds goes off, run to the party. You're gonna get hit basically and land on the 2 and the 3. So you simply run to the party behind the tank. If you are the tank with the 12 seconds, you run to the front of the party, like you normally would. All right? Any questions?
So the 27 tank is standing right next to the blocked corner, right?
The 27-second tank stands in front of everybody, grabs the tether, runs around the arena with the tether. The 12-second tank resolves his 12 seconds and then runs in front of the party onto the marker.
And what I meant was you grab the tether and you run towards the blocked corner, basically.
Yes,
That's
yes.
as far away as possible.
That's
Alright.
correct, yes. And then after the laser goes off, you then need to resolve the second set of markers, of arrows. The 27-second guys. You resolve yours. Mechanic over. Just going to see if I can find my cat.
This is also basically the only somewhat complicated mechanic in the entire fight. After this, it just basically repeat. We have to run once with the little AoE circles again. But apart from that, like, nothing really happens. It's just repeat.
Yeah, that is it.
So
It
once we
does.
get this done, we basically cleared it.
Yep.
It's that simple.
Disassociation with a sewerage eruptions and then ominous bubbling, shockwave, double impact, murky depth, enrage. It's honestly nothing you haven't seen before. That coherence and channeling overflow, as Anine said, is the last mechanic. So let's pull. Let's do it. Let's just remember: 27-second tank takes the tether. 12-second tank. Resolve your mechanic. Stand in front of the party. I know you've been fed, cat, so don't even try it.
Sounds like a cat that will try it.
My neighbour's been feeding my cat, and it's pissed me off. Like, it's really pissed me off. And so my cat, he's a fucking huge cat in the first place, right? And Soph said to me like a couple of weeks ago, actually, he's looking like he's getting a bit fat. And so my neighbour's been feeding my cat, and now my cat is just greedy as fuck because he's now not getting fed by the neighbour because I basically told the neighbour off for feeding my cat. And so the cat's now come home thinking he's going to get fed.
Oh dear.
Stay where we are. It really, really pissed me off as well because like that's the type of shit that confuses a cat.
And it's really rude though. You shouldn't feed an
is.
animal that isn't yours. You don't know. Like maybe it's on a diet, maybe it requires specific things.
It's more that it's a cat, and like cats are, well, they're cats. It'll go to wherever it's being fed, really. Wherever it's fed and loved the most, that's where the cat will be. And you know, if he's being fed there, and we go away on holiday, for example, he's going to be like, well, they don't like me anymore, so I'm just going to go to where I do get fed.
This is my home now.
Yeah, exactly, and that's just then at that point, they've basically stolen my fucking cat.
Yeah.
Go into D, and you're going to use knockback prevention, and go to your groups. This is your 2-minute window. Bless you. And then it is predatory avarice with winged or spoken. Dominic and Soph have the markers. We are going to B after the winged or spoken. Dominic left. Soph right. Remember, they don't take damage. We do. Channeling flow. Again, check to see who is across from you. If it is arranged, happy days. If it is a melee, give them some room. Don't do what we did. Double impact, party to 3. Tanks do share. Murky Depths. So it's raid damage into big raid damage. Went across to A. Shockwave on D. Use your knockback prevention. Hop sprints.
Damn, I'm wrong.
Double impacts. Raid damage. I don't think we're going to survive and get enough people up in time for channeling flow.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No. Stay where we are safe. Coherence. Dominic in front. Illyrian in front. And both of you use cooldowns. Murky Depths into Ominous Bubbling. We're happy where we are. He's going to face C and use your knockback prevention. Go to your groups. This is your 2-minute window. We're going to go back to B. Predatory Avarice. With Winged or Spoken. With Dominic and Ilduin. Dominic left. Ilduin right. Move to A. After the winged or spoken, Dominic left, Ilduin right, and go, go, go. Channeling float. Ranged. Give everybody space. Melee. Look who's in front of you. Everybody's alive. Party to 3, tanks doing your share. Cooldowns as you see fit. Next is Murky Depths into Sewage Deluge, so raid damage followed by big raid damage. Save your 2 minutes. We're going to use our knockback prevention now. He's jumping towards A. You're going to pop sprint. You're going to check to see if you have a tether or not. If you do have a tether, react accordingly. If you do not have a tether, get behind me, Dominic. That's it. And swap with me, mate. Happy days. Stack up, everybody. Raid damage. Now it's channeling flow with AoEs. Long debuff, you're going to go to your ABCDs. Short debuff. I'm dead. Didn't have a friend.
I went to the wrong corner.
Go to B. Go to
Sorry.
BBB. BBB. Go to B. Try and survive until we get that. I need an actual raise, but everybody else, I think, can just be healer or bead. Predatory avarice and disassociation. So we're going to look for the head when it disassociates. Yeah, I'm still going to need a raise though.
I've won in a couple of seconds.
Dominic and Ilduin. So Ilduin, you're going to go to the corner. Dominic, you're going to go to the side. So where's his head? I can't see it. His head is on A, so we're going to stay on B. And we're going to stay where we are. So Dominic corner, Ilduin side. No, other way around, I apologise. You got it right. Well done, guys. I'm glad you guys reacted accordingly. Next is disassociation and sewage eruptions. So we're going to look for the head. And we're going to go towards it. And then we're going to run away with our eruptions. And you're going to just constantly run. You're not going to slow down, but you're not going to sprint. After that, we spread. So that's it, yep. And I want us to run towards B. Go. Don't slow down. Just run round the boss's hitbox. And spread. Spread. Next is coherence. Party to 3. Grab the tether, Dominic, and run away. Everybody behind Ilduin. Ilduin, use a cooldown. Not Ilduin. Illurian, I'm sorry. Goodbye, Ilduin. Tanks share. Murky Depths, so it's raid damage into big raid damage. And then the last big mechanic, which is our channeling flow with coherence. So short debuffs, you're going to resolve. Long debuffs, you're just going to wait for the tether to go away and then move on to the B marker. So short debuffs resolve as normal, long debuffs. Naruto, there's no way that you could be over there, mate, because I am. Short guys, we're going to run behind the tank. Everybody stack up on an Ine. Not Ilduin, Illurian in front. I'm sorry, I do get that mixed up. And then the long guys are now going to resolve theirs as they normally would. And then it's disassociation plus sewage eruptions again. Exactly like we have just done, but we have less platform to do it. So quite literally we're just going to start here on B and move towards A. Go. Don't slow down. Ominous bubbling with shockwave. We've done this before. All the way around. Use your knockback prevention. Healer groups. You've got plenty of time to get to your healer groups. Tanks share. Illurian, you're just going to have to use your invulnerability for now, so we can sort of see the mechanics. And that's it. That's it. Now all it is raid damage, followed by raid damage, followed by we're dead. So that's the whole fight. There is no more to this fight. And we'll call it there for the evening at the Enrage. So all you need to do now is just not die. Do the mechanics that we've just done. We've seen everything. We know everything. There's nothing going to surprise us. Next week we will skip, as I said, 1 and just spend a solid 2 hours in here, which I'm quite confident that in that 2 hours we could certainly get a clear. Well done, everyone. It's a good evening.
Thank you, Anya.
It's a good evening.
Thank you for the guide.
Detail at the end, you called for an info, but mine was already on cooldown from a previous thing. So
Oh, was it?
that's why that didn't happen. Yeah, we had to share tank buster, but the healers were kind of resin.
It's difficult
Yeah.
to sort of keep track of them sort of things when you're doing your own shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's but just to explain, it wasn't me snoring or anything. Just couldn't.
Thanks for the raid evening, though. We got really far. That's good.
Yeah.
After we've gone through P2, we get into the real meat and potatoes of this raid tier, where the raid tier actually begins, like where the difficulty actually begins. I'm not going to lie to you and say to you it's going to be easy, because it isn't. P3 is genuinely difficult. But the thing that makes it difficult is the party finder. That's the truth of the matter. The thing that makes P3 difficult is the party finder. As long as you're focused, as long as you know where you're supposed to be, it can be easy. It's got a lot of moments that can trip you up, like the Asphodelos fire towards the end. It's as people call it, Elmo. It's it is a mechanic that wipe a raid in a heartbeat, and it is a mechanic that very quickly kills people. And the ad phase itself is also a very easy way for the party to get wiped. The bits in between, not so much. Very easy. You need to. We will come up with specific rules for spreads as well. Everybody is going to go to the same spot every single time. We're not going to wing it. You are going to just say, I'm going to go left and you're going to go right. And it will just clear things up when it comes to spreading, because spread mechanics are definitely the killer of a lot of teams as well. And there are quite a few spread mechanics in that particular fight. But look forward to it. It's a good fight. There's a lot of orange, but it's a good fight.
It's fun, and it's not as hard as it seems once you